Hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back on the old family farm with Throwback Thursday. It's nice to be back. Hope your week is going very, very well for you. By the time you watch this, the Platinum Pack has already been released. I'm actually recording this a little before the Platinum Pack release, but all signs are pointing to it being very, very good. I've been watching some early gameplay. Looks like Giants has actually done some work with the physics on those logs, at least from what I've been seeing. That's awesome. But let's talk about a couple things just to get you caught up with where we're at here. I brought the old Massey over to pick up our spreader because I thought it would be a good idea to get some lime spread on one of our fields, and I think we could also use some fertilizing as well. So let me just make sure our store deliveries is reset so we don't have it delivered somewhere weird. Let's look and see what Betty Lou has for us. So lime is $350 for a bag of lime. And that was 2,000 liters, $450 for 2,000 liters on the big bag pallet. So we might as well just buy a big bag. Let's do that. Perfect. Now I know Betty Lou has the ability to be able to load this for us, but so we're just going to pretend like that's what she has gone and done. Maybe got her got her nephew Tiny over to help out. I guess rumor has it Tiny is starting his own delivery service, which is pretty awesome. That family has been in this county for, well, I was going to say decades, but really millennia. I guess finally, they've got a pretty strong foothold in the county. I know Tiny is going to be starting his own delivery service. I guess kind of like Shipped, I don't know if you have Shipped where you live, but basically he is going to be, well, that looks steady, doesn't it? He's going to be, you can order a pizza. He'll deliver a pizza. And if you need some lime or some fertilizer, Tiny will deliver that. Delivers babies. I thought that was kind of weird, but it was on his poster. Delivers everything from pizza to babies. Tiny's delivery service. Look at that. Just like a pro. Making you kind of dizzy at the same time. But like I said, I hope everybody's doing really, really well. Getting close to the end of the week when you watch this, which is pretty awesome. Before we hit this fertilizing job, though, I wanted to cover a couple things real quick. One of them, well, hello, how you doing? Kind of doing the moonwalk a little bit there, a little glidey. It's all right, looking good. Thank you to the person who left me comment about the Jeepster. I was struggling to get the Jeep to really go over, 20, 21 miles an hour. They told me that I needed to, basically I had it in low and I needed to shift up. Yeah, totally worked. I just assumed that with automatic transmission set to automatic, that it affected all vehicles, but must be something with that mod that it does not want to shift on its own. But thank you for that. That solved that issue. It looks like we are starting to get some honey from our bees, which is awesome because we need the money. So we are honey for money. That's right. You didn't think I was clever. I came up with Throwback Thursday, and now I came up with honey for money? Come on, people. Yeah, nothing to be proud of there. Oh, and I know, one other thing. Somebody commented that they were having problems with cows and feeding cows, I think this was not working. I did actually test it before I did the recording. I bought a bunch of cows and tried feeding them, and that seemed to work okay. So, yeah, I would suggest it's probably a mod conflict of some sort that you got going on there. At least that would be my assumption. One of the first things to look at. Our fermenting is at 75%. I'm really looking forward to this getting done. It doesn't look like we have a whole bunch here, does it? I'll be curious to see what kind of cache we get from our bunker silo there, from our silage. Yeah, I'm hoping it's more than less, that's for sure. But I'm really bad at estimating that kind of thing. So fingers crossed that we make some pretty good bread off of that. But let's get to our liming. I was going to say fertilizing, but let's get to liming. And if we can get this field limed up, oh, it's sucking that lime, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to take some. This is going to take some lime. Always does, seems like. And unlike precision farming, if I remember correctly, lime does not work the same way in the stock game. By that I mean, with precision farming, normally when you lime, you know, you get like 3 harvests, I think it is, before you have to get your pH values back to normal. But without precision farming, I believe it's a per crop basis. The other thing that I miss with precision farming being enabled is when you turn on the spreader, you're dumping product. Whereas with precision farming, you can leave the spreader going. Even if you've already dumped product in an area, it won't dump any more out of your spreader. So the waste is much less with precision farming, which is really, really nice. So something I'm just going to have to be a little bit more aware of here and try not to be excessively wasteful with our lime and our fertilizer. Always amazing how much lime it does take to cover these fields, but at the same time, this spreader does not hold a bunch. Nice, very nice. Now, I don't think. Well, we can try. We'll do reasonably well with this. I'd probably be better off on a third-person view, but we can do a little bit of first-person with this. And as usual, I am not the pickiest of people when it comes to this stuff. I go majority. So if the majority of the field is covered, I'm okay with that. Wow, it just does not take long to empty, does it? Thank goodness we're able to get big bags brought over here, because if we were making trips back and forth to the store, to the lime station, this would be a much more laborsome endeavor. Nice. So yeah, Platinum Pack. Not a lot I can probably say, since it's already been released, like I said, by the time you watch this, other than I was kind of impressed with what I was seeing from some of the early gameplay. Mostly I was impressed with the fact that the physics on the logs does seem to have most definitely improved. I was watching Farmer Klein do his thing, and he was picking up, 10, 12 logs at a time with that big Volvo, and they were behaving very, very well. Not jumping around, not exploding, not dancing around and whatnot. Very impressive indeed. Now, this may sound a little bit silly, but I am obviously okay with sounding that way. I have on many occasions before, but I'm going to assume that the physics for the logs, that looks like it has been improved quite a bit. will carry over into all maps. In other words, we're not just going to see, you know, much better log behavior on, what is it, Silver Run or Silver Pines, whatever the, I always forget the name of that map. Whatever the Platinum DLC map is, I'm going to assume that the improvements that Giants made is going to be across the board. I'm hoping that's a fair assumption. Now, one thing I haven't seen, and I don't know, maybe I just missed it, I'm going to be testing out for sure, there's the end of our first bag, is if they were able to improve physics on the logs, the way it looks, like they have, did that carry over at all to other things like pallets? Because there is room for improvement in this game for the physics on just about everything, as far as pallets, bales, logs, bags, all that fun stuff. So I don't know. I'll be very, very curious. Brad, you're going the wrong direction. We do need to go back to BLS's store and pick up another bag. We could call Tiny and have him deliver. Maybe we'll do that in the future. I'm just going to have to work out a deal with Tiny so that he doesn't charge quite as much. He seems to think people are willing to pay. So whatever you're having delivered is his delivery fee. He thought that was a good company structure. So if you're having a $300 item delivered to your house, he's going to charge $300 to deliver it. That does not seem really fair to me. But you know what? He's a big guy, and I'm probably not going to disagree with him lightly. Ooh. Depth perception. That doesn't look good either. There we go. We got her. Well, maybe. We'll find out. I'll try to be somewhat careful until we get back home. So yeah, Tiny, like I was saying, you know, the Smalls have been in this county for forever and ever. They claim, and I don't know if this can be verified, they claim that they planted every tree in the county. Literally every tree. So every tree that you see, their kin planted at some point or another. Now, I tried to let them understand, or I tried to get them to understand at one point that trees have a tendency to reproduce, you know, by dropping seeds and whatnot, and can grow in the wild. But that discussion seemed to be a little bit over their heads, so I let it go. And the reason I bring that up, though, is because I had a short discussion with Betty Lou about the possibility of leasing some land or buying some land and doing some forestry here. And she acted like I was asking her if I could kill her relatives, which I thought was a little bit much, if I'm being honest. But that's the way, you know, that's the way things are. It's the way things go around in these parts. I just try to stick to myself and deal with that family when I have to. Let's see if we can finish off this load of fertilizer, I think we can pretty easily do that. I kind of want to empty this thing so that we can, I'm sorry, lime, fertilizer. Kind of want to empty this thing of lime so that we can use this spreader for fertilizer. Because we do, and we might as well go ahead and get our fields fertilized while we're out here working it. I think pretty easily be able to get this thing emptied out. So really our sources of income should start increasing a bit here shortly. We should start seeing some money coming in, I would think, not only from the crops, but also our honey. We've got our greenhouses going, which is great. And then I should probably check on water on those, shouldn't I? All right, I guess that does it for our lime right now. Let's go over and see what we have for fertilizer. I set up a fertilizer station over here at one point. Let's take a quick peek over here and see what we've got. So this should be fertilizer here. I try to remember them. They look a lot the same, but I try to remember because this one has the jerry cans going on there. Now the only question is money. How much is it going to cost to fill this thing up? Yeah, not particularly cheap. 448 bucks. So fingers crossed. My chicken's getting it. Wow. Ooh, gone too. Disappeared. Okay. See you bye, chicken. Yeah. Fertilizer's not cheap. Nothing's cheap, is it? Let's get this field here fertilized first. I know it needs it. Pretty sure it does at least. If we look at our deal here. Yeah, so neither one of these two fields here are fertilized. It looks like the field is it over there? Yeah, this field over here. Oh, is that? Oh, wait a minute. Did we fertilize our grass area? Oh. Wait a minute. Why do I not remember doing that? Interesting. It shows a layer of fertilizer. And over there too where I mowed. I wonder, did we fertilize? Am I forgetting that altogether? Or are we getting a layer of fertilization? A free layer of fertilization from what? Mowing? Did I roll it? Oh, we didn't roll it. Boy, man, my memory's horrible. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember how we got fertilizer layer on there. Typically, I would say it's from rolling, but I don't think we own a grass roller. Did I? Let me see here real quick, though, because I know that Porsche pack. Yeah, we don't own. Interesting. Windrower, forage wagon, balers. Huh. I honestly don't remember how we would have gotten a layer of fertilizer on our grass over there. I mean, I'm good with that. I'm glad we do. I just don't remember how we possibly did. Interesting. So I know this is a little out of date, but I was watching some YouTube today, and in my feed, my suggested feed, mind you, excuse me, this thing came up from David Blaine, the magician, I guess, what street magician he's mostly known for or whatever. Maybe you have heard of him, maybe you haven't. Pretty famous, so you probably have. Watch out, there, duckies are going to get spread out by... Oh, I hope your little babies aren't around here. Oh, well. He's done a lot of magic-y things, you know. I think he's even done this whole levitation thing, hasn't he? Hasn't he kind of gone down that road as well? Boy, is it hard to see where I have fertilized. Like, I can't even tell. Huh. We are definitely going to just have to do our best to eyeball this because I cannot tell where this is being spread. So anyways, yeah, so I'm watching, so there's this David Blaine thing comes up, right? It's David Blaine, Ascension. You know, ooh, Ascension. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so what is this? You know, is he going to like, I'd never heard of this. This must be probably not news for anybody other than me because I probably live under a rock most of the time. But this was completely news to me. I'd never even heard of this. Oh yeah, see, I'm getting a little bit too aggressive with how far away we are, but we're just gonna do the best we can here and try and use half here and half on the other field. So anyways, so I'm looking at this and there's a thumbnail of him hanging from a bunch of hot air balloons, right? Or little balloons, weather balloons. And the first thing that came to my mind was the story of that dude that hooked a bunch of these balloons up to his lawn chair and decided that he was going to go floating around the countryside with all these balloons hooked up to his lawn chair. His plan was, you know, take a BB gun with him or whatever, and when he got too high, he was going to just start, you know, popping the balloons with his BB gun or whatever gun he had with him. I guess he ended up dropping his gun. Surprise, surprise. He actually lived, I guess he actually survived that whole deal. But anyways, going back to David Blaine thing. So I saw this thumbnail, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. You know, I mean, what's his plan here? Is he gonna go up on these balloons and then like jump and like disappear in midair? Or, you know, what's the dealio here? So I started watching it. It's like, man, it's like an hour and a half long, you know. So I'm kind of fast forwarding through a lot of it because quite frankly it was extremely boring. And then basically it's just him floating up in the air. Pretty close here. Let's do one more script. It's him just floating up in the air attached to these balloons. He's got a parachute. He unharnesses from the balloons and falls, and he parachutes to Earth. Now, maybe I'm becoming harder to impress, but I don't understand what the big deal on this whole thing was. Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm really just trying to be real about this. What's the big deal? Like, literally, I look at this stunt. They called it a stunt many years in the making. You know, David Blaine, you know, taking breath exercise, or he's done breath exercises and learned how to, you know, keep his oxygen levels to their maximum and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, there probably is something to that. Okay. But the guy had an oxygen mask on half the time anyways. I don't get it. So maybe if any of you have seen this, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's called David Blaine Ascension. On YouTube. It's like an hour and a half or something crazy long. Just watch the beginning when they're hooking him up and then just fast forward to when he finally lets go of the thing. He doesn't even just let go. He's harnessed. It's completely safe. He's got a skydiving expert who's talking to him the whole time. The guy has done practice jumps, so It would even be cooler if he'd never skydived before, and like this whole thing was like, at least there'd be some risk involved. But I look at something like this and I'm like, I don't get it. Am I missing? I must be missing something, right, with this, because this just does not seem like something that, boy, it just didn't seem like that. But I mean, certainly there's risk involved, but there's risk involved when I drive to work every morning. It's like there's risk involved skydiving in general. And literally the only difference I could tell was he was, instead of being taken up in a plane and jumping from a plane, he just let a bunch of weather balloons take him up. Okay. Maybe, is that the big deal? Because a little bit of math, you know, how much is one balloon? How much weight can one balloon lift? I mean, it's kind of simple math. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm becoming harder to impress. But I just thought it was just kind of funny. I just thought the whole thing was just kind of funny and just kind of over dramatic and just weird, I guess. Weird. It had like 3.2 million views, which really, that's a lot of views, but it's really not when you think about kitten videos. There's cat videos out there that get more views than David Blaine Ascension, you know? And I know that's how they're saying it. David, what do you want to call it? I want to call it David Blaine Ascension. You know? Oh, really? We were just going to call it David Blaine Falls from Weather Balloons. You know, let's just call it what it is, you know? David Blaine running out of ideas. That's what I would have called it. Yeah. David Blaine running out of ideas. And then at the end, you know, he's super pumped because he lands, you know. And seriously, and I'm not kidding you guys and gals, no lie, the whole time I'm waiting for him to just disappear in midair. I'm thinking something like that's got to happen. This can't be just a dude skydiving off of some weather balloons. I'm like, most certainly he is just going to disappear, and then they'll be like, oh, David, where are you? And the parachute will fall to earth without him attached to it, and they'll be like, oh my goodness, David is gone. And then he'll come like walking out from, you know, somewhere. You know, I thought something like that was going to happen. Something at least interesting. So, and you got to check out the David Blaine Ascension website too. You got to check that out too. You know, years in the making. Wow. I don't know. I'm probably sounding really mean right now. I don't know. I don't mean to be mean about it. Maybe I'm just upset because I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'll leave it there. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. David Blaine Ascension. It's like I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start being like, hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 2022. You know, and we are on the old family farm. You know, I want to make it more dramatic, and maybe I can have some music playing too. You know, some pretty dramatic music and stuff. How much do we have left in here? Like 6%. Let's just go ahead and find. I know I missed some spots. Yeah. Let's just use what we have. We got a little stripola here that I managed to miss. So we'll try and maybe cover this strip, and then there's a strip to the right here that if we have any left we can use up. But I don't think we will. 6 liters left, folks. 6 liters. Three, 2, 1, go. Perfect. I'm happy with that. I think we did good there. So we've got lime and fertilized on one field. We got our fertilizer on the other field. Now on this field, I think it even says that it could, we do need to weed. We can actually get started on that, I guess. And then we don't own a roller, and I know I've talked about that. I don't think it's going to be worth... I don't think it's going to... Just look at that dude, man. I'm sorry, but ever since I just started paying attention to how he looks on this tractor, you know what? Maybe it's not so much the posture as it is his stiff arms. He's got the stiff arms, you know? He's stiff arming it. Oh, that's gotta hurt so much. That elbow is just locked. It's so rigid. Oh man, I don't know. I'm so easily amused sometimes. Oh boy, I wasn't very amused at the David Blaine ascension. I can tell you that much. I'm glad I fast forwarded through the whole, at least 90% of it, because if I had spent an hour and a half of my life watching this dude going up in the air with some weather balloons and falling to the earth with something as amazing as a parachute, I would have felt really bad. Oh well. Well, that Farmall. It's weird listening to the Farmall after hearing that Massey. That Massey sounds. Ooh, that reverse sound is nice though. Yeah. I like that deep sound in reverse. That sounds pretty nice. So yeah, this weeding is definitely going to take a while because not exactly the biggest weeder in the world, but it gets the job done for us, no doubt. There was a nice set of Farmalls released, you know, back in the Mod Hub there, and I've got them activated in the game. I would love to be able to pick those up here. Let's take a quick peek at those. I think I've got them activated. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd like to get these on the farm. Very much. I think these would be really, really nice. I don't think horsepower is... Yeah, still like 51 on that one. I think this one is similar. 47. So not exactly high horsepower tractors. Really nice looking Farmalls though. And then of course there's this one as well, which I know we've talked about before. This one has that 80 horse on it. This one would be a really nice addition too at some point to get on the farm. 3,500 bucks, not bad actually at all. In fact, I'd say for the price, for the money, right? This would be a better, much better value, especially for horsepower's sake too. We'll have to consider that at some point. So yeah, we need to do some weeding, and then we'll get some planting done on this field. We need to get this thing taken care of here in September. Otherwise, we will be out of time. So we need to get this field knocked out, which shouldn't be a big deal. What's going on, puppers? And let's just take one more look at this. I don't think this bunker is going to be ready until probably end of day. Well, 80%. So it might be ready. Might actually be ready sometime. Oh, hey. How you doing, buddy? Around noon or so, maybe. That would be cool. I really want to get to... maybe that's something, though, we should do next month in October if we can get. We need to get that field. We need to get our fields and our crops in the ground. Kind of a priority right now, I would think. Just checking out the ducks. I'm amazed he's not chasing them, right? Yep. Well, I guess that's probably going to wrap it up for this episode of Old Family Farm. It seems like it goes so quick, but I'm glad we got done what we got done. This field now is just a waiting game for it to get its growth stages done. And this one, well, we still have some prepping, and we'll get seeded here yet in September. But thanks everyone again. I really do appreciate you sticking with me, checking out another video of mine. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate it. Comment if you want to see anything different on the channel as well, or want to see some different equipment. Always open to suggestions. Most importantly, though, take care of yourselves. Make sure you take care of each other. And join me tomorrow, Friday, back in East Vineland, New Jersey. We're back on Kubota Farm. So y'all take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.